1 year ago today, I was chilling in my tiny apartment in Tokyo. I just had the most successful year ever. I made more than enough money as a 20-something-year-old, and I just had another promotion at work. I went on small trips almost every weekend, and I bought some expensive clothes and jewelry with the money I made. I looked like I had a perfect life, but I was completely broken inside. I come home to a super tiny apartment in the middle of Tokyo every night, and I never really felt like I was home. Every Monday felt like hell. Sometimes I spent my morning crying because I just didn't want to open my work laptop. I was so lost. I was working hard and making money. Wasn't that supposed to make me happy? The most successful year turned out to be the worst year of my life. Why do I work? Why do I live? I didn't even know anymore. But that's not my life anymore. This is my life now, and it's not perfect. It's a work in progress, but I am happy with where I am in my life. I think it's safe to say my life changed. One weekend, I was laying down on the beach, looking at the sky, and I thought, I wish I lived in a place like this. The next day, I was back in Tokyo and started doing research on housing around the beach, and I found this beautiful house. I booked the viewing right away and went to see the place the very next day. I fell in love with it, and within a week, I received a call saying I got the house. From there, everything happened very quickly. I moved out of Tokyo and moved into this beautiful house in a beach town. And since then, my life started changing slowly but surely. When I lived in Tokyo, I would wake up from roadway noise and drunk people fighting and yelling at each other on the street. Now I wake up to the sounds of birds singing, trees rustling and swaying in the wind. I can see a beautiful Mount Fuji from the house on a sunny day, and sometimes cute butterflies come to say good morning. I love that nature is never repetitive. I find it beautiful to wake up to different sounds and different views every day. More nature, less stress. Study shows that spending just 20 minutes connecting with nature can help lower stress hormone levels. When I lived in Tokyo, my apartment never felt like home. I tried my best to make it comfortable, but it was very challenging when the living space was less than 18 square meters. It kind of felt like living in a camper van minus the nature part. I noticed the importance of having a comfortable living space. My current house gets a lot of sunlight, and it almost feels like it created sunlight within me. With more space, I can do yoga and exercise without worrying about bumping into the wall. Also, I can pretty much have as many plants as I want now, which is important as a plant mom. With more space and sunlight within me, it became easier for me to take time for myself to think. Think about who I am, who I want to be, and what I can do to be that person. In general, I don't have a lot of regrets in my life because without my past, I wouldn't be who I am today. But I do wish I had taken more time to think about my future when I was younger. About 1.5 years ago, I attended my coworker's life coaching session, and I finally realized that what I really wanted was a life surrounded by nature, not the city life I was living in. Since then, I started taking more and more time to think about my future. Every now and then, I write down who I want to be and where I want to be in 5 years. Not the version of me that my boss or company wants me to be, but the person I truly want to be, and I break down to small steps so that I know what I need to do to create the dream life. Most of the apartments in Tokyo come with the smallest kitchen with 1 or 2 burners on the stove. My apartment only had 1 burner on the stove with the smallest sink, and cooking became a stressful task where I constantly needed to think about how efficient I can be with the limited space I had. Cooking has become one of my hobbies since I moved here, and naturally, I became healthier. I enjoy cooking so much now that I don't even eat out much anymore. I tried to use local vegetables as much as possible, and I even started a tiny farm in the kitchen to grow vegetables because I noticed how much food waste I'm throwing away every time I cook. I used to only cook something that I knew how to make, But now I really enjoy trying something new every day. I enjoy cooking vegetables that I've never cooked before, and I try different recipes almost every day now. In Tokyo, finding small joys look like going to a cafe, going to a flower shop, or bakery. Most of the time, it wasn't free. Since I moved here, it has become easier to find small joys, and they usually don't cost money. Waking up to beautiful Mount Fuji that looks different every single day, watching the beautiful sunset, looking at the horizon, and listening to the sound of the waves. I guess some of the most beautiful things do not cost money. I'm so grateful to be able to experience those small joys every day. Since I moved here, my rent has become almost half the price. I lost interest in chasing trends and buying materialistic things that don't come with the experiences. With a lot of small joys being free, my living costs became so much lower. In Tokyo, I felt the pressure to make more and more money, and I felt like it was never enough. I wouldn't say I am 100% happy with my finances, but I don't feel the pressure as much anymore, and it feels good to know that if I want to quit my job tomorrow, I can and still keep the same lifestyle. Back in Tokyo, I felt like I'm one of the thousands and thousands of worker ants that just existed to work. There are always so many people in the city, but everyone always seemed so busy and had a place to be. It was very difficult, at least for me, to feel the human connection or sense of community. Now, I go to a greengrocer to buy vegetables, and as I put mushrooms in the basket, the grandma who runs the shop starts talking to me about her favorite recipes using the mushrooms. I'm gardening outside, and my neighbor casually asks me what I'm planting. These small conversations put a smile on my face, and I feel like I finally found a place where I belong. Is this lifestyle for everybody? Probably not, but moving to this town had a huge positive impact on my life. When the flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower.